It's hump day. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Shout out to Toronto Riggins, first in the building today. Welcome back, sis. Welcome back. Yeah, one of them days, man. That rain came in unexpectedly. I didn't know it was gonna rain, but I knew it was a reason. I didn't want to get out that bed, and that Chiyo came in and said, "Yo, that rain sounded a little too good this morning." Oh yeah, I feel you. Oh man, what up, D-Rob? Salute. Health Talk. Good morning, good morning. What's up, boo? Hey, welcome to Morning Motivation. Let's try something a little different. Welcome to Morning Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. Whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply start your day on the right foot, you've come to the right place. So on your way in, hit that like button. Let me know that you're here. Don't hesitate to jump in the chat, be a part of the community. Express your thoughts, your feelings, all of that good stuff. What y'all think about that? Playing with the intro a little bit. I think I like that a little bit better. It's a little longer, and I always get a little like it's too long kind of thing. But I'm working on it. This is one of those things where I got to get out my own way. Sometimes we have our personal habits or our personal, our personal things that we do, just natural habits, our biases. It prevents us sometimes it stops us from progress. It gets in our way of doing the things that will grow us, that will expand us, that takes us out of our comfort zone. So I'm working on it. Okay, good feedback. Okay. I like it. All right. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about how to stop coming up short today. And I want to give you guys a fair warning. My heart is a little tight this morning. My emotions are a little bit kind of a little all over the place a little bit today. Mama P, the strongest lady that I've ever known, strongest person that I've ever known. I've watched her endure so many things, overcome so many things. And because I'm her oldest son, I got a chance to really see her when she was younger. She had me when she was 19. So in a sense, we kind of grew up together. Now, she's 19 years older than me, but in a sense, we grew up together. Because my mother never really had a father. All of her older brothers were like, I think the oldest one was like 18 years older than her, and just stepping down. So she had to go through a lot of trial and error, a lot of bumps along the road. And last night, my sister took her to the doctor. And so for those of you who didn't know, she's decided to stop doing the chemo. because it's gotten to a point where it's not really as effective anymore. And it's been more of a quality of life versus quantity of life discussion recently. And so she's opted out of taking the chemo. But the last bout of chemo, she normally bounces back, after a couple of weeks. This time she didn't. And she's kind of been in the same space as if she was still actively taking the chemo, which messes with her memory, messes with her appetite, some other things. And I think last night, and I've seen my mom from the very beginning when she had to have the spinal surgery, when the cancer went into her spine. I mean, I was there the whole process. And last night was, I think, the worst that I've ever seen her doing this 7-year process, doing the whole 7-year process. And it made me really sad in a lot of ways. I was frustrated. And this is a safe space, so I'm just gonna talk for a few minutes this morning. At least I hope it's a safe space. But I'm just gonna talk for a few minutes this morning before we get into today's show. And I went through a range of emotions while watching her. I mean, my mom, she was borderline diabetic before the cancer, but now because of all the drugs and the steroids and everything else they're giving her, she has to take insulin shots. And just going through the motions with her of how to even take the insulin shot because her mind is just so cloudy right now. And I've never seen her this frail, this fragile. And it made me realize that one of my biggest fears, when we talk about fears a lot, the reason we don't do certain things is because we have fears. And they trip us up, and they delay our progress. And I'm not sure if it was a Easter sermon or what, but I heard somebody doing a sermon talking about in the fullness of time, how God sent his son when the time was right. And that made me think about a scripture that I used to lean on really heavy when I was really just getting into the church, when I was struggling with my purpose in life, my direction in life. And the scripture was, and I didn't quite understand it, but it sounded so good to me. It was, let the patience have her perfect work. Let patience have her perfect work. And then another one that I picked up was, in due season, what does that say? Don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. And I started thinking about how many times in life I started over. I started thinking about how many times in life I watched my mom start over and reset. And it's funny that the thing that they don't tell you about that scripture when you're reading it is that you should read it backwards. And says, if you get weary, let's see, well, how's it go again? Don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. Yeah, so if you faint, you won't reap. If you give up, you will never achieve it. If you don't stay the process, if you don't go through the process of growth, the process of change, then you're never going to get what you're seeking. My bad, y'all. My ringer on. My ringer's never on, but it's on this morning for some reason. See you later, boo. And it made me think about a lot because I couldn't go to bed last night. After I finally got her, to the bed and made her eat a couple of bites of food and got her in the bed. And then I couldn't rest. So I told my wife, I said, babe, I need to go run some errands. And then she looked at her watch, her phone, and like, errands, baby? It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. What errands you gonna run at this time of night? I said, I need to go pull the cans by the yard. I need to go get some I need to go to the gas station. I need to, I just need to process what I just experienced because I had never experienced it before. Not with Mama P, the strongest woman I've ever known. I draw a lot of my strength from her. And then thinking about my biggest fear was time. Running out of time before I'm finished. And I have so many things to do. I have so much on my heart that needs to come out. But we're all prisoners of a thing called time. So this morning, I want to talk about how to stop coming up short. I want to talk about what it's going to take for us as a group to get over the hump, to get out of our feelings about a thing and actually start to move toward the space that we really want to be. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever beverage you got, and let's get ready to start this journey of growth, positivity, and hopefully some transformation in there today. And as always, thanks for being here, and let's make today amazing. So I want to stick with the idea of due season. Due season was a theme that I guess a slogan that I used for many years. When I first met my wife, and like I told you, man, I was busted when I met my wife, bro. Oh, I was busted. I didn't have a car. I was driving my uncle's car. I mean, I was at a very low point in my life. So for those who are out here judging people because they're at a low point in their life, you better stop being superficial and judge their character, judge where they've been. See, actions don't really fail you. Lip service will fail you every day of the week. But when you are a person of quality, a person that has standards and high expectations for yourself and goals, and you have accomplished some things in life, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Truth is easy. When you got to start quantifying and justifying things, lies are complicated. Truth is always easy. A truth is simple. You can just say what the truth is. But a lie requires a lot of explanation. So when I met my wife, I didn't lie about any place that I was. I'm like, look, I'm in a down spot right now. I'm not in a space that I want to even commit to anybody, or I'm not even looking to commit to anybody because I got to get myself together. I'm going through A, B, C, and D. And she was like, cool, I understand, no worries. We can just be cool. And that's what we were. She didn't judge me, call me dusty, any of that good stuff. She ain't said, boy, you dusty. What you driving? No, I don't want no parts of that. Well, shout out to my baby. D-Rob said, I got water and an orange. Oh, no, yeah, if you want to buy your boy some coffee, you know what to do. Hit the link in the chat. I appreciate you. And so, from the beginning of our relationship, I said, look, I've been sowing some seeds. I've been growing. And it's due season. I got to be due at this point in time. We talk about how we don't know how long it takes for a dream to grow, for a dream to bear fruit. But we can tell you how long a tomato should be planted. We can tell you how long a baby should be before it's born. We can tell you all these things, but the dream is something that we cannot quantify. We can't give an accurate depiction of how much time a dream's going to take. And so I got real nervous in the very beginning of our relationship because I'm used to being the provider. I'm used to taking the lion's share of the load, and just in relationships in general, even my friendships with dudes. I'm used to being the one that's going to sacrifice the most. Now, granted, I got some great friends, and look, I've tried my best to outwork these dudes. I'm just not built the way they built in that aspect. So, however, in personal relationships, it has been my thing because I watched my parents both work so hard. And I saw how hard my mom was working, and I'm like, I don't want my wife to have to work that hard. I don't want my children to have to go through and have to get all this stuff that I had to do. I want it to be a little different. I want them to have the responsibility, don't get me wrong. But I want my life to play out a little different because if my wife is burnt out and stressed out, how can she be what I need for her to be at the house? If she's always stressed out, then she's going to stress me out. And then that's going to make our communications bad. If she's always stressed out, she's going to stress me out. And I am not what you would call this is the wrong term, but follow me. You know how some people just love makeup sex? Some people, they fight just to have sex, right? That's not really my thing. If we fight and I don't want, back away from me. I'm good on you. I'm good on you because I have deep-seated trust issues. It's not as much now, but once upon a time. And so I didn't want to be intimate with you in that space because I don't know what you might try to do to me. So it was, to me, it was on that vein. And so if I'm stressed out, I'm going to instinctively just kind of push away from you. So I said, no, I want my wife to be a little bit freer. I want my situation to be a little bit more predictable, but based upon me. And so she lost her job at some point in the very, very early beginning, maybe in the first, about the second year, I think something happened and she lost her job. And so there's two incomes, two households, and there's like a half a job in between the households. Now, I like this girl. I'm feeling her. But I'm also now feeling away because I would have been the dude that could have been like, no, I got you, boo, I got you. Because I really like her. See them drapes, here them drapes come. Oh man, so drapes is that's the inside joke for those of you who might be new. Drapes is an inside joke. All right, man, I'm not a fight or flight, right? I am all fight. I don't really believe in running. I think I've only ran once in my life, and that was trying to get somewhere. Now, I've never ran from anything. But anyway, so due season, I got a little nervous because I'm thinking, did my presence in this girl's life cause her life to go down? Is that what's just happening right now? And I know that is a convoluted way of looking. Just like the person that says, my team lost the game because I wasn't watching. Or I was scared to watch in the last 5 minutes because me watching might have made them lose, right? That's an indictment on what you think about yourself. So I did what I did best. I started working, and I worked, and I worked, and I worked, and I worked. And she saw my level of work ethic. She heard the words that I spoke that I wasn't lying to her. Everything that I said was true about myself and where I was going. And so she made a decision. I'm going to put stock in this guy. I'm going to have faith in this guy that he's going to be who he said he's going to be. Now, she did the smart thing. She wouldn't try to have no babies with me. Not that was even possible. But you know what I'm saying? She was protecting herself from being ensnared into the grips of a person who didn't mean her any good because she didn't know me for real. But can I be honest with y'all about something? You see, I've always had the ability to work through difficult things because I've had a hard journey. Because I've had so many obstacles that I didn't run from, that I faced head on. And so my due season wasn't in my ability. The due season for me was partnership. You see, I kept coming up short in life because I had some deficiencies that I really wasn't aware of. I had some blind spots that I didn't think they were blind spots. Honestly, I thought they were strengths. And then I met a lady. Who had strengths in areas that I overlooked. And she had no idea then. But when I was doing all that dream building, when I was talking about I'm so due, baby, I'm so due. Look, I'm telling you, I done been through A, B, C. I'm ready. It's due season. She did not know that she was due season. I didn't even know it. So how do we stop from coming up short, y'all? We stop trying to do things by ourselves. That's why we inevitably fail. You see, there's a journey in life that we all go through. And we get real cliquish along this journey. We find people that gives us the least resistance. We find people that co-sign the bad behaviors. They don't hold us accountable. And they let us exist, knowing that this person is messing up. And so because I was able to appreciate my wife before she became my wife, because she had been through her journey and her struggle to become the person that she became, when we get together, now due season begins. Because it's hard to reap a harvest. You ever worked on a farm? You ever had to go out and pick a whole orchard full of apples by yourself? It's hard when it's by yourself. You can't fully get the harvest by yourself. And that's what I didn't understand. So I was coming up short because I was trying to do everything myself. I was putting the whole world on my shoulders, trying to carry it, trying to bring it down as a baby and nurture it, trying to raise it. And because of my wife's influence on me, because of my trust and being able to let go with her, now when I meet great people, like Health Talk, for example, like one of my other partners, one of my day ones, they endured me for many years. I will admit that. They endured me for many years. But it's because they saw something in me also. And I've had all these resources, all these great people around me for years, but I'm just in my little silo, doing my own little thing, coming up short. I've learned to trust more. I've learned to let go of the things that I cannot control. The things I can't explain. Some things, they just are what they are. And now, because of the journey that I've been on, I don't come up short nearly as much as I used to. Now, do I still have some setbacks? Of course. Toronto Rodriguez says, God's timing is better than our timing. Yep, stress of me equals drapes on the floor in a puddle. Drapes? Oh, man, Have Talks that God is amazing. I mean, to be honest, man, most of us, we're the reason we don't have the success that we need. We get in our own way. We self-sabotage. We refuse accountability, and we want to blame things on everybody else. We want to talk about God and what God ain't doing or waiting for God to do what God already gave us dominion and power and authority. This is our domain. Earth is our domain. He's already given it to us. Adam gave it away. Jesus got it back. What we doing? We have everything that we need. God's not going to do it for us. And if you letting the Illuminati or the white man or being a woman in a man's world or being a black man in a white society, I mean, bruh, no, stop it. Yes, is all that true? Absolutely. Is it racism real? Is sexism real? Is classism real? Abso-freaking-lutely. But somebody that looks like you just made it. Somebody that looked like you made it in the 1920s and 30s and 40s when it was almost impossible to do. Somebody like you made it in the 1800s when it was virtually impossible to do it. There were whole laws created to stop you and a whole system designed to keep you oppressed. But somebody that looked like you made it. Yeah, Monique says, we also need to know that there's growth in our low points. I think I said that already, but it's a great point, so I say it again. Yeah, Dr. Monroe, he hit the nail right on the head. And I think that's one of the problems that we have. We don't want it to be on us. Yeah, I got quite a few of his books. Because he was the first person that I ever listened to, Dr. Miles Monroe I'm talking about. He was one of the first people that I ever listened to that was saying the thoughts that I thought in my head. He said it out loud, publicly, in front of people. And come to find out, people thought he started a cult years ago. They said, that Dr. Monroe, he's a cult leader. Because his thoughts were so radical, but they were not radical. It's just that religion in itself is very controlling. It's very manipulative. And the one thing you can't manipulate is the spirit. You can't manipulate truth. Truth is what it is. Well, you can manipulate it a little bit. People do it all the time. But what I'm saying, truth is simple. When you got to start creating all these other things, that's when you know something ain't right. That's when you know there's a lie being told somewhere in this mix. It could be 95% true, but that 5% that's a lie makes the whole thing false. Makes the whole thing false. And so when I talk to my mom, she has some regrets about life. She didn't do some of the things that she really wanted to do because of some fears that she had. And now she's at this place in her journey when she don't have the control that she once had. And now she sits back, and my mom was we had a business meeting on Saturday. My mom was sitting there, and she wasn't her normal self. And I just equated to the medication that she's taking. But every few moments, she have these moments of clarity in between the naps, because she nap a lot. And so in between the moments of clarity, in between the naps, there's a moment of clarity. And she just looked at all of us in the room and she said, y'all are so smart. Y'all are so smart. And I can look in her eyes and tell she was so proud, because I am the fruit of her loin. Everything that she's wanted for her life, she's watching me be able to accomplish, to live it. And she's proud. She's not envious. She's not jealous. She's proud. because every generation should get better than the one that came before it. And as a parent, we want our children to exceed the limits that we set for ourselves. We want them to recognize and realize the dreams that they have and to find the success and the happiness in life. And this is why when I say time, none of us know when our last day will be. My mom is 19 years older than me. 19 years is not a lot of time. And I think, what if I only have 19 left? What if? What can I do in these 19? What can I do in these 19 that I hadn't been able to do in the last 40 something? But then it hits me. There is no time frame on a dream becoming a reality. The only time frame that exists is the one of the limitations that we set for ourselves. That's why we need to work with teams. That's why we need to do it with other people, because there's always a limiting belief or a limiting behavior that we have that we impose on ourselves. But when somebody's there to hold us accountable, when somebody check in and say, hey man, that thing we talked about, how you doing on that? Where you at? Okay man, you need to get on that. We said we was gonna do this, we need to make it happen. That's how we stop coming up short, y'all. We start being vulnerable with other people, people that are on our path, people that want to be a part of our situation. And no, they're not coming perfect. They're not going to have it all figured out, and they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to be flawed. But so are you. So are you. There is no perfect situation, no perfect person, no perfect scenario. It's just people trying to become. And if you can partner with somebody who is trying to become, somebody that you can go into covenant with, Dr. Myron Golden said that, what did he say? He said that a contract is only needed when the parties don't trust each other. But a covenant is required when there's when you love each other, when you trust each other, when you respect each other. That's when you form a covenant. Now, I'm not saying covenants don't draw out stuff, but a covenant, it's a much more binding agreement. Because not only will I treat you right in this business, but I will also treat you right in life. And if I violate you or violate our agreement, I will make amends tenfold because I love you. Now, if I just got a contract with you, I don't trust you, you don't trust me, then it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to get all I can get and not give much as we agreed that I would give. I'm trying to get out of all that because I ain't like you no way. Monique says, Toronto Rican says, what a beautiful moment for Mama P. Yeah, I think so, because my mom has never she's never really seen me working, because I work in the dark in the back room somewhere. So she's never seen me at my job, and she's never seen me in a leadership position outside of the family leadership. And then watching the people that was in the room, because everybody in the room Saturday was probably smarter than me. Everybody in that room Saturday probably had either more accomplishment than I have or maybe some loftier goals. I don't know, but everybody in the room was freaking brilliant. And my mom was just watching in amazement, like, wow, man, this is beautiful. Monique says, make the best of it and teach others what you would have done. Pass the wisdom and encourage others. Meet people where they are, but help them if possible, without judgment. Facts, all facts. He gives a great breakdown about the tree growing both directions. Myron Golden. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we was talking about planting seeds. You know, when the seed goes into the ground, the roots come out the bottom first, and the roots are what gets the nutrients and all of that good stuff, right? But also then the top of the tree, the top of the seed bursts open, and the thing that was inside comes out. That is due season. That is due season. And what makes a seed come up short? If the ground is rocky, if there's dry, if there's no thorns, if it's not even ground, it can't do what it's supposed to do. And we can't do what we need to do as people if we don't do it with other people. You can't even procreate by yourself. You got to have somebody else. And if not another person, you got to have that sperm to hit that egg. It has to. Can't happen without it. We need people. The life cycle will run its course. As my Uncle Joe used to always say, twice a child, once a man. Twice a child, once a man. I didn't fully understand it until now. Because the same lady who wiped my nose and fixed my clothing and fed me, somebody did that for her. Then she did it for me. Now I'm doing it for her. That's the cycle of life. But business has their cycles as well. Friendships has their cycle as well. And you have to know that nothing lasts forever. Well, nothing physical lasts forever. It all breaks down. It all has expiration dates on it. However, let patience have her perfect work. Let patience have her perfect work. Because in due season, you will reap if you faint not. So don't get weary in that well-doing. Whatever you're doing, don't get tired of it. You might need to take a break. You might need to walk away, but don't get tired and quit. Don't get frustrated and quit. Keep going. Keep pursuing the dream. Keep chasing the things that you're chasing. Because you never know. You don't know what's already predestined for you to happen. Because I've seen so many people work 30 years on a job, 40 years on a job, make all these retirement plans, and then they retire and they pass away 6 months after they retire. Never getting a chance to enjoy what they thought was the life they wanted to enjoy. They never got that chance. And now their spouse, their children, they're sad, they're mourning, they're left in a better financial situation. But is life sweeter without the ones you love? Even if you have a little bit more money, is life better? No, because life is about the people. People use, and this was the tragedy of slavery. People use people to make money, to get the money. They abuse people for it. The love of money. Money is just a resource. But the reason we do all the things we do is for people. Maybe not for people we don't know, but our families, our children. We do it to put ourselves in a position that we can provide, that we can enjoy, that we can have peace. But somewhere along there, the money becomes the main character, and we making the money for the money's sake. And that's when real misery begins. Because if money becomes the goal, then it's a fickle goal, because money is only as good as the government that guarantees it or the people that guarantees it. Money is not backed by anything. It's just paper with words written on it. Just money, just paper with words written on it. And it says a number, and that's what it's worth, based on the person that's guaranteeing it. Because I promise you, when I was in Korea, the won, which is the Korean currency, the won was 683 wons equals $1. Why? Because the South Korean government credibility wasn't as strong as the U.S. credibility. But the euro has more value than the dollar. So it's fickle. It's not stable. Not at all. But anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox. About to go into finances. I want to go into finances. I'm just thinking about how many times we're talking about playing it small. We play it small. We don't really embrace our true greatness, our true genius. We don't really walk in it. I remember when I first started, actually not even first started. I mean, up until maybe 2-3 years ago, COVID, matter of fact, COVID. I remember going on most jobs and I'd be so insecure because I would feel like the people that were here were doing their job better than I was doing my job. They had more skill, they had more training. They went to school for this. I didn't. I learned it on YouTube. I learned how to be a freelancer from YouTube, y'all. And on the job training, just to be honest with you. I went to school for writing. I didn't go to school for video production. I learned it the hard way, the long way. And I'd be so insecure going into jobs that some jobs I wouldn't even bid for. Some of those higher dollar jobs. Now, I make good money, but it was jobs that paid even more. But I didn't even apply for those jobs because I didn't think I had the credentials to do so. And then COVID happened. And everybody got real small and started working in smaller groups and in the more individual projects. And y'all know what I discovered? I have just as much talent, if not more talent, than most of the people that I was working with. When the bottom could fall out of something, I could run the whole production. I wasn't relegated to just being the camera guy, just the audio guy, just the videographer, just the producer. I could do every job in the space. I could do every freaking job in the space. I could run the teleprompter. I can run the camera. I can direct. I can produce. I can write the scripts. I can even act. I can read from a teleprompter. I can edit the. It's like I can do every job. I can light it. I can mic it. I can do every job in a production. But for some reason, I didn't think I was good enough. Say YouTube is a blessing. Hey, man, they call it YouTube University for a reason. For a reason. But I went through the process. I went through the process to gain the skills. I failed. I just had my RAID with all my files on it just died. And I just had to recreate a whole, look, it died, right? I was in the middle of 2 projects. One, I can get by without. One, I need it. I had to recreate this whole project that took me 3 months to recreate. I did it yesterday in 4 hours. Now, just a draft. But because I've been through the process already, because I've been tested, because I failed, I bumped my head. Yes, D-Rob, I can give a taper fade. I used to cut my own hair when I was in Korea. I was in Korea, bro. They ain't had no black balls in Korea when I was there. So I started with the baseball cap, and I just kind of go around the edge with the baseball cap. And this is before YouTube. Yep. And then I put another guard on and I started fading that joker out. But yeah, I can do a little fade too. Don't try me now. Now it's even easier. I ain't got to do trial and error now. But yeah, so it's the process, man. The process that we fear. Getting past our fears, overcoming, not realizing that you're already doing what you've been doing. You already establishing yourself. There you go, trial and error. You've already been established. You know what you're doing. Now it's time to have faith in yourself. But what's the best way to have faith in yourself? Partner with somebody, because they're going to make you stronger. They're going to let you know what your strong points are. You're going to already know what your weak points are, and then you're going to get stronger by being with them. How to stop coming up short, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to build teams. It's time to build community again. It's time to stop being so selfish and more communal. It truly does take a village. Monique said anything was better than that military cut for sure. There you look, this military cut was wild, right? They have these clippers, and then there was a hose attached to the back end of the clipper. It was scooping the hair up. It was one guard. Excuse me. It was one guard. They didn't change guards, and it took minimum or maximum 5 minutes to get a haircut. That chick yo said partner with the right someone. And therein lies the rub. Monique hit it. Start with partnership. Start with partnership. The right someone. When I met my wife, I was not the right someone. I was not the ideal mate that she had in mind. She didn't say when she was 16 years old to her girlfriends, girl, I want a short, dark man that ain't got no job. He ain't got no car, but he got big dreams. Oh, girl. I can't wait. I can't wait to find me a man like that. Bruh. Nah. Oh, no. That wasn't what she was looking for. That was not what she was looking for. I was not the right person. And had I met you guys 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been the right person, because it's a journey. It's a process. You grow with people. You grow on people. People grow on you. Because 7 years ago, I was dusty. I had a lot of dreams and a lot of ideals from her perspective. She didn't know everything that I've been through, and there's no way I could have told her everything that I've gone through or all of the accomplishments without making it sound like I'm bragging. But if I'm bragging, then why ain't I doing better in life now? All she needed to know is that I made some mistakes and that I'm going to fix them. And then I stuck to my word. And she watched, she evaluated, she saw what I was doing. And then one day, y'all, she came to me and said, bruh, hey, I was thinking, because she saw me become the person I said I was going to become. Because I added so much quality and value to her life that she didn't want to let that go. And the craziest thing is, it only took 3 years. 2 years. Not even 3. 2 years. It was a long 2 years, though. We had some rocky moments, and I didn't think we were going to make it for a while. I don't think she did either, but but 2 years in, it's just like, you know what? All right, let's just do this, the me and you thing. Let's see where it go. And here we are. Toronto Regan says, but you had the potential to be the right person or partner. Yeah, that's also the rub too. Being with somebody because of the potential is treacherous territory. Because how do you determine potential from a dreamer? Yeah, Monique, you're right. She a G. But it's not as complicated because it's action. Bobby has never been afraid to share anything with me. It has always been no strings attached. She's never had any unfair expectations for me. The only expectation she's ever had for me was the ones that I set for myself. She expected me to do what I said I was going to do. And that was the measure. Well, he said he was going to do this. He's doing it. Cool. I'm going to rock with him. Oh, he said he going to do that. He did that too. Cool. I'm going to rock with him. Man, this guy don't miss. Everything this dude said he going to do, he do it. Okay. I'm going to settle in for the long ride then. You know, her greatness is in she trusted what she saw. She trusted what she heard, and she was a good judge of character. Now, could I have been a shady, fly-by-night dude? Of course I could have been. And you know what she would have did? The moment she discovered it, she'd have dropped me, and she'd have went on her journey. But I didn't have to come with all these pre-qualifications because she too had been down in her life. She too needed some help to get out of some situations. And so she didn't put any lofty goal on me that she wouldn't want put on her. That chick yo said, when I see the words meet his action. Oh, I think you mean when I say the word? Yeah. But that's what it is. Because energy can be deceptive. Words can definitely be deceptive. But actions speak volumes. Actions will tell the story, the whole story. So never be afraid to give a person a chance, especially if that person is talking that talk. Now let's see. You talk that talk, but let's see if you can walk that walk. Let's see if you can walk that walk. And I've been walking that walk. And I watched her. She's been walking that walk. And that's really the accurate measure of a person is do their words and their actions line up? Do their words and their actions line up? Monique says, no action speaks louder than words. Wait. Works. Is that works or words? This little emojis in my view. She said it right. Okay. No, when I see, because a lot of folks, they're talking, but they don't take no action. Gotcha. Yep, you said it right. And that's generally how it is. Now, depending on maturity, some people just don't know what to do. So, be careful when you're dealing with somebody that's younger than you, because they don't have the experience or they don't have the wisdom to sometimes make adjustments on the fly or to, my children are, early 20s, and they don't, even though they know how to move, they don't have the wisdom that it takes because they haven't experienced it long enough. They haven't made certain mistakes. Forgot my comma. Javon Rodriguez says, I'm all about action. We all about that action, dog. Oh, man. So, we talked. I've been kind of rambling this morning talking, y'all, because my heart is sad a little bit, but it's also full. because I know it's a natural process. It's a natural. It happens. It's gonna happen to us all. You know, nobody knows how they're going to be in their later years or what's going to take place. But I'm smiling because I've always wanted to do some things for my mom, and I'm able to do them now. She's wanted to see some things, and she's been able to see them. And as much as I hate to think about the fact that, you know, one day she may not be here or she won't be here, it just makes me more urgent with time. And not so much as time as a set year, but how much longer is it going to take me to truly believe that I am capable, to truly believe that I have what it takes, to truly step out and become the person that I'm truly supposed to be. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't take time. It just takes a decision. It takes a decision. You have to believe what has been said about you, what you were designed and destined, created to do. And you have to go out and do it. You got to navigate some challenges, and you got to be willing to grow and transform. Because unless that seed falls to the ground, bury itself, and then die, it can't become something else. If it stay in the pack on the top of the shelf, then it's forever going to be a seed. But in order for it to become what it was intended to be, it has to get in that dirt. It has to get in that failure, in that growth, and that transformation phase. And then next, just trust in the process. Trusting that some sow seeds, some water, but it's God that gives the increase. So therefore, you can't predict how fast an idea is going to explode. You can't predict how welcomed or received that you're going to be. You can predict that you are showing up and doing what you're supposed to do. And then in due season, so don't get weary in well doing, for you will reap the reward if you faint not. Monique says, okay, family, these kids are waking up. Please give Mama P my love and keep loving on her, bro. Remind her how amazing and loved she is. I will. All right, Mo, you take it easy. Yeah, don't let them kids beat you up, man. Start chopping them in the throat. Just make them sit down. But yeah, we about to get ready to get about it anyway, guys. Reaping the harvest is what we're talking about. Well, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how we come up short, how to stop coming up short. And that's partnership. That's partnership. Trusting people's actions, not falling for the words of the slick-tongued individuals. It's about living a life worth meaning, living, investing in the right place. Monique says, my prayer is that I live out the purpose that God has created me to be. Love you, family. Much love and respect to you as well, Mo. Yeah, that should be all of our prayers, because we were created with some gifts, with some talents, and for some purpose. And it's our job to figure that out so that when we have to make an account one day, we can hear, well done, thy good and faithful servant. And as Monique said, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been here for a while and you hadn't said anything, hit the like button. Let us know that you here, that you like the content, and that you feeling where we are today. And I know I've been rambling a little bit today, but today just been one of those days, man. It's just I was heavy. My heart was heavy and inspired at the same time. And it's a weird feeling because last night I was on the verge of wanting to just break down and just cry. But I get it. I'm not an emotional person, and it was a weird feeling for me. But this is the person I've known the longest. Always been a rock in my life, and I've never known her to be weak in anything in any moment. And just to see the confusion last night it took me aback. It did. But she sowed good seeds in me. And so, in this phase of her life, her due season is here. So I'm grateful to be here, to be able to be that for her. I'm grateful for you guys, for you ladies, for being here, always supporting. always showing love. I wouldn't want to be on this journey without people like you. Toronto Regan says, thank you, bro, for being so transparent and open here with your motivation family. I'm grateful you guys aren't judging me and that you let me be honest. I promise you. You know, this is a big step for me because, you know, trust historically has not been the thing that has been a good thing for me. But you guys make it easier. The growth is definitely happening. So I want to say shout out to everybody that was here today. Those of you who've just been driving and listening. Craig G. K. Oh man, Jermaine, Randy, you guys out there, man. I know you sometimes you can't respond, but I'm grateful for you regardless, and I'm grateful that you do tune in. So, life is life. It happens whether we are active participants or not. So today, take charge of your life. The shortcomings, the things that you felt like you failed in. It's now time to pick it up. Don't start over again. Get back on the horse. Create more momentum. Build a full head of steam and knock that wall down of fear. Whatever that thing, this apprehensiveness or that tension or this anxiety, run through that wall and run into your destiny. Run into your purpose. That's where you're going to find your true happiness. You live in a day and age where pretty much all things are possible. You can go from zero to hero very quickly. There's not many gatekeepers or barriers anymore. The choice is yours, so choose life. Choose the life that you want. Oh man, D-Rock about to be 30 next week. Shout out. What day, man? What day next week? Ready to see what the new chapter brings. Yes, sir. Toronto Regan says, no judgment zone here. Oh man, I love all you guys, man. I appreciate you. So we go together now. We family. We about to be in covenant with one another. All right, so I am planning on being back on Friday. I'll let you know how it goes, but I plan on being back in the building on Friday. What's the month of 13th? Okay, D-Rob birthday the 13th. We need to do a birthday calendar. I know I've been catching them here and there, but we need to do a birthday calendar so I can make sure I shout everybody out. All right, guys, as Health Talk would say, have a great day no matter what. Y'all be blessed, and thank you for attending or being a member or a part of the Morning Motivation family. I really do appreciate you and respect you. Y'all go have a great day. Make a difference, make an impact, and go inspire somebody today, man. Y'all be blessed. Peace.